I'm Monty Bombelyn, host of Pleasure Island Conversations, the area's only talk, information, and entertainment program. Brought to you by, and now folks, a word from some of the great people that make this programming possible.
Register's Auto Glass, Wilmington's leading full-service glass shop. We can repair chips, nicks, and cracks in any automobile, anywhere, anytime. Can't come to us, we'll come to you. With our fleet of 7 mobile repair units, our professional installers can tackle any job. Come visit our new location at the corner of Wrightsville Avenue and Dawson Street. With the area's largest full-service glass shop, we are here for all your auto, residential, and commercial glass needs.
Lowest down payment, low monthly rates. Protective Agency.
For over 60 years, Protective Agency has been offering the lowest price and down payment on quality auto insurance. Look in the white pages for the location nearest you and start saving big. When an accident happens, we're the company that cares.
Lowest down payment, low monthly rates. Just call Protective Agency.
Hi folks, welcome to Pleasure Island Conversations. I'm your host, Monty Bombelyn. I don't think I had to introduce John Golan to many of you that watch, but if you haven't watched the program and this is the first time, this is John Golan, folk singer, storyteller. Welcome
Monty.
again to the show, John.
Good to be here.
And people should know that you and I have been doing a series of, well, we'll say 50s and 60s around that era, but also some of these people are icons from the 30s and 40s and are still strong in the 50s. So today, I think you and I spoke that we were going to talk about Harry Belafonte.
Yep.
And he was very popular in that era, too.
And he came out in the early to mid 50s.
Yeah.
And kind of a surprise. What a good voice, good looking guy,
Yeah.
and doing a kind of music that kind of went along with the mambo crazes and the cha-cha-cha crazes, the calypso music.
Well, didn't they consider him like actually one of the folk calypso people, like the first in that era?
He, in terms of making it commercial, yeah.
Yeah.
They had been doing calypso contests for years down in the islands, and had write songs and get your song on these festivals and so forth. But he kind of took some of the older folk songs that had already been around and made them calypso style. But yeah, calypso had been around for a while, but he made it popular.
I remember as a young man too, down the islands, the Limbo Bar.
Oh yeah.
There was contests with
How
that,
low
too.
can you go?
Yeah, how low can you go? Yes. Well, anyway, I looked at, I like you, I remember a lot of Harry Belafonte's music, but not a lot of history. And I knew it was Jamaican. But I looked it up, and he was actually born in New York, but his mother was Jamaican.
Yeah.
And a lot of people thought he was just a black man, but he was really a Jamaican.
Well, and one of his first songs was Jamaica Farewell.
Yes, yeah.
Down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines gaily on the mountain top, I took a trip on a sailing ship. When I reached Jamaica, I made a stop, but I'm sad to say I'm on my way. I won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. Had to leave a little girl in Kingston town. Down at the market, you can hear ladies cry out while on their heads they bear ackee rice, saltfish are nice. The rum is good any time of year, but I'm sad to say I'm on my way. I won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. Had to leave a little girl in Kingston town.
Yes, that was another one of his big ones. And the one I always remember, because it was like the first time I heard him on the radio, and that was the Banana Boat song.
Yeah. And we called it Deo because
I
it's
always
one of the chorus had Deo in it. And
yes.
so and he started with that. Deo.
That's right.
Deo. Daylight come and we wanna go home. Day-o, day-o, daylight come and me wanna go home. And it was about the islands.
Yeah.
Come, Mr. Pallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and I wanna go home. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Daylight come and me wanna go home. All right, Monty. Day-o,
Day-o.
day-o, daylight come and me wanna go home. Day-o, day-o, daylight come and me wanna go home.
Yes, I always remember that one. I'll tell you what, we got to do this because I got to put people in here that make this show possible. So we're going to take a little break for a commercial. I'll be right back.
Good.
Lowest down payment, low monthly rates. Protective Agency.
For over 60 years, Protective Agency has been offering the lowest price and down payment on quality auto insurance. Look in the white pages for the location nearest you and start saving big. When an accident happens, we're the company that cares.
Lowest down payment, low monthly rates. Just call Protective Agency.
We're back, folks. We're talking about Harry Belafonte today. And if you've been watching, you see some of the wonderful music he made. But also, John, we were thinking about, he was in TV, he was in movies, and other songs, and he even was on Broadway at one time.
He did musicals, and of course his singing style got him those kinds of gigs. But the movies, he turned into being a very decent actor.
He did.
He had a kind of a soft voice.
He
Kind of a whispery type voice.
I always remember that one. I think it was either a school principal or he was a school teacher.
Okay.
That was having a hard time with the students, and
Yeah.
Can't remember the name.
He did a movie called Island in the Sun,
Yes.
which was about a young man going back who I guess, we found out some of those islands down there, they had like royal rulers, and then they had, some were democratic, and some were British territories, and some were French and that. But anyway, we kind of played on that lifestyle back at the time in those cultures. But it was a good movie.
I remember Island in the Sun too, and there was some music came out of that one too.
Yeah. Oh, island in the sun, willed to me by my father's hand. All my days I was singing praise, shining waters, its sparkling sand.
Yeah.
But you mentioned one too when we were talking earlier, Carmen Jones.
Oh, Carmen Jones, but he didn't sing in that though.
But that's an example of when Dorothy Dandridge was probably one of the most prominent black actresses at the time, and he was in that.
Yes, he made another movie after that too with her. In fact, I think that helped launch his movie career even further, and TV.
And TV.
Now, you mentioned something that I only saw once or twice, where he would get together with some. They were actually comedians, black comedians.
Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Richard Pryor. Yeah, the guy that played Shaft, Richard Roundtree, I think his name.
Yeah.
And they would have some scheme going, it was a comedy.
Yes.
And it would get them in trouble, but they were players. It was something like Saturday night, downtown Saturday night or uptown Saturday night. But it was funny. They were good.
I do recall, but I just probably didn't watch it that often. That's why.
Well, another aspect of what he did too was he did a real nice Christmas song, long time ago in Bethlehem. So the Holy Bible say, Mary's boy child, Jesus Christ, was born on Christmas Day. Hark now, hear the angels say, new king's born today. Man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day.
before we close, we got to mention the fact that as he grew older, he really became an activist. He was good friends with Martin Luther
And he still
King
is.
Jr., and he still is. He's still alive. And at one time, he was a goodwill ambassador for the United Nations for UNICEF.
He did those things, yeah.
So he's led quite a life. And I did see him on TV not too long ago. I think it was on a talk show. He's gotten older, but he still looks like he's got it. He must be around 84, 85 years old.
He does a lot of good, yeah.
Yeah. Well, John, that's great, and we're going to get you back again and talk about somebody else.
Thank you,
Thanks
Monty.
for being out here.
Thank you.
We'll be right back, folks.
Lowest down payment, low monthly rates. Protective Agency.
For over 60 years, Protective Agency has been offering the lowest price and down payment on quality auto insurance. Look in the white pages for the location nearest you and start saving big. When an accident happens, we're the company that cares.
Lowest down payment, low monthly rates. Just call Protective Agency.
We're back, folks. I'm here now with Anna Nalepka. Anna, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Pleasure to
Now,
be here.
Nalepka sounds like a Polish name, is it?
It is, yes, sir.
But you're not Polish.
No, sir, not at all.
Okay.
I am Puerto Rican and Irish.
Puerto Rican, that's a combo.
Yes, it is.
Now, what, mother Puerto Rican, father Irish? Or
My
both?
dad's Puerto Rican and my mom was Irish.
Okay, all right, very good. I have a niece that married a Puerto Rican gentleman. They're both lawyers. Yeah. But Puerto Rican got hit so hard right now. It's
Yes, sir. It's devastating. I
Yeah.
have distant family over there, but as far as I've been told, they're okay. So.
Now, I understand that you're an actress. You're also write script, too.
I've not
Occasionally.
written a script. I have found myself a creator, if you will, behind
Okay.
the camera for the first time. I've always been in front of the camera and done films and public service announcements and commercials, but in the last year I found myself behind the camera.
And do you work mostly in this area here?
No, the project I'm working on is actually in Greenville, North Carolina.
Did you travel today?
Yes, I did, 2 hours.
This is two people I've got to come here for 2 hours. I really appreciate it. I mean,
It's my pleasure.
I don't ask people usually to travel more than an hour, even if I can help
It is my pleasure.
because you're not paid. You know, you come here and because we like to talk. We like to see what's going on and let
No.
people know what's happening in the area. What project are you working on right now?
The project that I am working on is a documentary. The documentary is about the grief that comes from the loss of a child. It's called Black Hole of the Soul. It is something that I never thought I would be doing. It came from, I lost my only daughter to stage 4 cancer on July 12th of 2016. And
That is devastating, yes.
yes, and I had no plans on doing this. This was the farthest thing from my mind. And a few months later, I had found myself dealing with a very deep depression. Because of my day job, I don't have insurance, so I couldn't go to a therapist. And I couldn't find any help to speak to people that actually had walked the path that I'm on. There were many grief groups that were with churches that met once a month, but they encompassed all grief, you know, death of a spouse or a parent.
Yeah.
What I needed was someone who was there with me, who had lost a child, who knew
Right,
exactly
yeah.
what I was experiencing. And because I've been an actress, some of my friends came to me and they said, why don't you create? Why don't you do something? And this is something that I had access to. And I found some groups on Facebook, bereavement groups with parents who have lost children, and I put this out there one time. I said, what if someone was to make a film giving us a voice, showing what we're going through? Would anybody be interested? And it was phenomenal, the response I got. So many people all over the world were begging me to make this. And my daughter, she was about being a blessing. No matter what happens, you turn it around to be a blessing for someone else, and this will help a lot of people. So I'm doing it for her.
Yes, and you're right, because when you think about bereavement groups, it's true. I mean, they are sort of bunched together. There's
Yes, sir.
not one group that's a spouse or one group that's a husband or a child, and I think that's the most devastating too, is a child.
It doesn't matter if it's a child that was stillborn, a miscarriage, or that child was 31 years old.
Yeah.
It's not more than anyone else's grief. It's a different type of grief. You know, in the back of your mind, somewhere you have an idea the natural order of things is your mom and dad are going to go.
Exactly.
No one ever thinks your child is going to leave the earth before you do.
Yeah, that's true, and that's the way most of us feel. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And also, the parents who are left behind, the way people deal with us is a little bit different, because it's almost a taboo, if you will, because they don't know what to say to someone who's lost a child. What could you say? There are no words that are sufficient enough. So a lot of times, people, just out of human nature, find themselves avoiding, if you will, people who have lost a child.
Yeah. That is difficult. It is difficult to approach someone that lost a child, because you know, if you have children yourself, how you feel, or you would feel, and it's hard to talk to someone that lost a child. I agree with you on that. But that doesn't mean you should ignore them either.
Well, I don't think people do it on purpose or in any way.
They just don't know what to say.
No, and a year and a half ago, I wouldn't have known what to say. It wasn't in my realm of reality that I would have gone through this. And it has opened my eyes to so much. I have people contacting me on the website saying how much that this film being made means to them, because people are afraid to talk about it. You know, they don't want to make somebody else feel uncomfortable about speaking about their child who's passed, so they just keep it inside, and it builds. And depression and you know, just what happened recently with Delilah, the radio talk show host. Her son committed suicide, and she said she can't fathom how to go on, and I 100% know that feeling.
It takes time, and even then, it still hurts. Yeah.
They say time heals all wounds. In this, it's not a matter of time. You never get over it. It becomes part of your DNA.
I talk to people that have lost children, and that's what they say to me, that, you know, everybody says it takes time. They said, but you 20 years later, you still don't get over it. It's always there.
It becomes part of your DNA. You have to learn how to walk with this. You can be happy, you can be joyful, you can be laughing, and right underneath the surface, be absolutely full of despair. And not many people can see that or understand it. And that's what this film is about. This is just to bring awareness to it and a voice of the different type of grief it is.
Can you tell me when this film will be showing and where it will be showing?
Well, right now we're finishing up. I have two other women that have graciously decided to share their stories with me. They have lost children, and with different circumstances. Mine was due to a sickness. The other lady, Miss Angela Hulan, her son was in the news, was bullied, and he took his own life. And the other woman, Ms. Zena Thompson, lost her entire family, husband, baby girl, and son, in a horrific car accident. So three different women, three different ways, but we're all connected. And we also, this is such an organic type of film, it has changed so much. We found ourselves at three different levels of grief. There's Angela, who her son passed away 2014, and it's very much right here with her. You would think it happened just yesterday. And then there's me, where I think I'm somewhere in the midpoint, but again, I'm learning as I go along. And Miss Thompson, who's one of the most joyful people you would ever meet, and she lost her entire family.
Oh.
Entire family. So it's quite interesting, but we're hoping for it to be done by the end of this year or the beginning of 2018.
Do you have any idea where it will be showing?
Right now, we are going to be trying to show it at the big festivals, Cannes and Tribeca
Wherever,
for a
yeah.
documentary. And under their rules, we cannot show it. There can't be a previous showing. If it doesn't make it into there, we're going to go into the film festival, Cucarolis, all the film festivals around here. We are also possibly going to be umbrellaing, am I saying it right?
Umbrella.
Under the umbrella
Under the umbrella.
of a possible hospice program where my daughter was.
Oh, yeah.
Because we want this film not only to be shown in festivals, but possibly shown in different bereavement groups, grief groups, people that need to see this. So anywhere that it'll help, if it'll help one person in that audience that can sit there and be like, that's what I wanted to say, and I didn't know how to say it, then it's all worth it.
I notice you have a picture with you, too.
I do. This is my daughter, Stephanie.
Okay.
This was taken while she was in Italy. She was a staff sergeant in the Air Force. I never take this off. This was her bracelet.
Wow.
And she has 3 beautiful children that she left behind, a little girl and 2 boys, and they are the light of my life.
And how old was she?
She is forever 31.
Okay, forever 31, yeah.
Yes, sir. She passed on July 12th, 2016, and she is the force behind this film. She is, because if it was up to me, honestly, I'm not that person. I would be in a corner somewhere just thinking about myself. She is the one who pushes me to do this, so I know it's going to be a blessing to many, many people.
Well, certainly. And you got to remember, too, if she was still alive, she'd be pushing you, too, to continue.
She definitely would.
Yes, yes.
She definitely would.
Yes.
So.
Listen, it's been a pleasure but a sad experience having you on here, and I hope this goes well. And getting that film out should be very important, I think, too. So would you come back sometime and just let me know how it's going?
Of course.
If it's a year from now, even. Yeah.
I absolutely will. It'll be my honor.
Okay, I
Very
appreciate
nice
it.
meeting you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you.
We'll be right back, folks.
Registers Auto Glass, Wilmington's leading full-service glass shop. We can repair chips, nicks, and cracks in any automobile, anywhere, anytime. Can't come to us, we'll come to you. With our fleet of 7 mobile repair units, our professional installers can tackle any job. Come visit our new location at the corner of Wrightsville Avenue and Dawson Street. With the area's largest full-service glass shop, we are here for all your auto, residential, and commercial glass needs.
Lowest down payment, low monthly rates. Protective Agency.
For over 60 years, Protective Agency has been offering the lowest price and down payment on quality auto insurance. Look in the white pages for the location nearest you and start saving big. When an accident happens, we're the company that cares.
Lowest down payment, low monthly rates. Just call Protective Agency.
Hi, I'm excited to be here with Monty, Bombelyn, host and producer of Pleasure Island Conversations. It's so good to be with you.
Good to be with you, too.
And I'd love to hear your story about how you became host and
It
producer.
is an amazing story because I was never in TV, 37 years in the newspaper business in New
Oh.
Jersey, and worked in quite a few newspapers. Came down here and did finally wind up with a job doing a little radio work, and then I wound up on TV. That's another story. I don't even know how I got there. But actually in TV, I was a sales manager. I wasn't doing any commercials or anything like that. I did some on radio. And how we got here, we went to an interview at the Alabama Theater one year, 2 cameramen and myself. Now, I went there strictly for PR. I didn't go there to interview. They wanted someone to talk, and I said, I guess I'm the only one. So I wound up interviewing people, and it worked out well as far as I was concerned. Anyway, it was just a regular conversations. And when we got back, the producer said to me, he had a guy on one of his other stations doing a brand new talk show, mostly politics. And I said, well, I don't really want to get involved in that.
No.
I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll get you a location and so forth, and then maybe we can find a talent. So I got him to the location. In fact, it was Edward Jones right up across the bridge over here, Treasure Island. And it worked out well, except we were having a hard time finding a host. So I said, all right, I'll try it until you get somebody. Now, here it is, like almost 20 years later, and I'm still doing it.
Wow.
That's how sometimes things work. And that's my story. I met a lot of interesting people, had some great clients, like Alabama Theater for, oh gosh, almost 20 years. The economy has hurt some of these people, and I can understand it. I'm not pushing them. I think they will come back as we improve, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully.
And that's my story. Long time in New Jersey, and mostly in the newspaper business.
Well,
Oh,
that's
plus being a musician,
Oh,
playing clarinet and saxophone, and that, I was actually a professional. I played professionally, but I didn't play as a steady living. I did it on weekends and Roadhouse up in New York State for quite a couple of years, and met a lot of interesting people doing that.
well,
Yeah.
I'm envious. I'd love to be able to play an instrument.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people tell me, and I say, well, you know, it's never too late to learn.
Well, that's an idea.
Pick up a keyboard and start taking some lessons.
Yes, that sounds
Or a
exciting.
guitar.
Well, this was a lot of fun getting to know you and hearing your background as host and producer of Pleasure Island Conversations.
And you know something? No one has ever interviewed me. I'm always the interviewer. I've never been interviewed myself, so it was fun.
Well, great. Thank you for watching.
Take the debonair flair of Dean Martin, the classic cool of Hugh Downs, Larry King questions, the wit of Charlie Rose, stir it up and spread it around. Add a half a cup of salt and water and a heavy pinch of Curry Beach sand. Toss it in the air, make a Carolina wish, and when it comes down, it's Monty the man.
Oh, oh, oh.
If you've got some info